it's Jen again. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to publish your print book. Now that you have all the final files prepared for your book, the last step is to upload them and make the book available for sale. What are my different options to print my book? There are fundamentally two ways to print your book: print on demand or commercial offset. Print on demand, or POD, printers are just what they sound like. They take your files, get them all set up, but then print the books on an as-needed basis. If someone orders one copy on Amazon, they print one copy. If you want 500 copies for a conference, they print 500 copies. The price per copy doesn't change, and there are no minimum orders. Commercial offset printing is the opposite. Commercial offset printers typically run large orders of books. The books are then warehoused and shipped out as they're needed. With commercial offset printers, the price per book drops dramatically as more copies are ordered. There are 4 situations when commercial offset printing might make sense for you. 1. You want a color interior for your book. CreateSpace offers color interiors, but it makes the books preposterously expensive, usually more than $20 per copy. At this price, you need to charge almost $35 per copy on Amazon just to break even on the book. It's better to go elsewhere. Number 2. You know you're going to want to order in large quantities. CreateSpace is great because books are reasonably priced down to the lowest quantities. The other side of this coin is that there are no price breaks at high quantities. If you're ordering 3,000 books or more, there's likely a less expensive option than CreateSpace. Number 3. You need fancy design elements printed. Printing features like spot lamination on the cover, one of those color inserts that has photos in the middle of the book, or any other creative design elements can't be done by CreateSpace. Number 4. You need a hardcover version. For the time being, CreateSpace doesn't offer hardcovers. There are other print-on-demand platforms that do, like Ingram Spark, but because of high cost and shaky integration with Amazon, we recommend going to a commercial offset printer if you want hardcovers produced. The entire process of choosing, hiring, and working with a commercial offset printer is discussed in the resources below. The rest of this lesson will focus on the authors who don't fit into the above 4 categories, for whom CreateSpace is the best choice. What is CreateSpace? CreateSpace is a company that provides print-on-demand services and easy integration with Amazon. Why is it so easy? Because Amazon owns them. CreateSpace couldn't be more simple. You upload your files, enter the relevant information, and in 1 to 5 days, your paperback book will be live and available for sale on Amazon. Depending on the length of your book, your cost per book will be in the $2.50 to $4 range. You can order copies directly at this price or sell them on Amazon and have the book cost taken directly off the top of people's purchase price. CreateSpace also offers a few other options. First off, you can upload your ebook through their platform. I wouldn't recommend it, as they take an additional percentage above KDP, which you'll learn about in the next lesson, and they don't provide any extra value. Skip right past this option when they offer it. Secondly, you can have CreateSpace help with the design of your book's cover and interior. Again, I wouldn't take them up on this option. It would be great if there was an all-in-one place that could really provide a great service, and they may get there one day, but for the time being, books designed by CreateSpace look amateur. Follow the process in this book and upload the designed interior files instead. How do I use CreateSpace? CreateSpace is pretty intuitive, especially armed with the work you've done so far to be prepared without any problems. With that being said, there may still be times when you feel uncertain about what to do when uploading your book. If that's the case, we created a video walkthrough that explains how to upload your book to CreateSpace and explains each of the fields you'll need to fill out and common mistakes to avoid. And we'll play that tutorial now. So when you first log into CreateSpace, you'll go to your member dashboard, which is right here, and this is where any titles that you have will be listed. This will be your first title, so you'll click Add New Title. Here you'll put the title. And we're going to be doing a paperback. And then you can choose the expert. All right, so your title will populate here. If you need to make any corrections, go ahead and do so. And then if you have a subtitle, you can enter it here. Make sure that all this capitalization shows the same way that you want it to show on your book cover and in the Amazon listing. For the primary author, you'll enter the first name and the last name. Make sure that you don't have any additional spaces around the letters, or that can throw off the formatting. And if you want to have titles or initials, it's better to include those with the first or last name so they populate correctly on Amazon. So for example, if you had a PhD, it would actually populate better on Amazon if you added the PhD into the last name section. Or you can just include your first name and last name, your preference. If there are additional contributors or authors, you would add them here. If it's a series or it has a particular edition number, you can add that in here. For the most part, you likely won't be dealing with these at all. Language is usually English. If it needs to be something else, you can adjust that. Publication date, you can't publish in the future. It can only be previously or day of. And since you're doing the upload now, just choose the date today. So here is the ISBN section. If you are doing a CreateSpace assigned ISBN, you'll just click this. If you're entering your own ISBN that you've purchased, you click this and enter your ISBN here. And the imprint name is what you'll list as your publisher. Since you're self-publishing, this can essentially be anything you want it to be. It can be your company name, or you can make up a name. It's just the name that will show usually on the spine of the book and will represent the publisher of your book. Then you will enter the physical properties for the book. We recommend black and white interiors. Standard book size is 5.5 by 8.5. You can choose white or cream paper color, but we find that the white paper color just looks like you've printed out of your printer. So we prefer the cream paper for books, and we find that looks a lot more professional. And then here is where you will upload the interior file link. So you're going to go to Browse. And here is the interior file we're going to upload. And it needs to be a PDF, so just make sure that it's a PDF file that you're linking in. For the bleed, this is a reference to the text and the way it's formatted in the book. Basically, most books have a white border where nothing is written around the text space. Occasionally, there's elements that will go in towards the center of the book, more towards where the spine is. If your book does do that, you would label it as a bleed, but in most circumstances, it likely won't do that, so you would choose ends before, which means there's not a bleed. If you're going to create the cover through CreateSpace's Creator, you would click this. Again, we don't recommend that, so this is where you would add your PDF cover file. And same thing here. It also needs to be a PDF, which we have right here. So that's uploaded there. So here's where you have the cover finish. You can choose glossy or matte, it's your choice. We prefer the glossy finish, and that's what we'd recommend for a most professional look. This is where you enter your book description. So I've just typed out, this is our book description. This will be the book description that's on your back cover usually, but this information populates to your Amazon listing. So try and format it the way that you want it to be shown, and you can use this information here to try and use the correct HTML for that. Another thing you can do once the book becomes live is you can use Amazon Author Central and actually format your listings from that site. And then here is where you choose the BISAC category, and this category will help readers find your book based on the type of book that they're looking for. So this is usually easiest to just look through and find what most applies to your book. So for example, this book is about taxes, so we're going to look in business and economics. And they won't have everything listed, so you might want to jump around and see what the best fit is. We'll go with taxation. And the narrower category that you can choose, the better it will help your sales, because you'll have less books that you're competing against. And we'll go with small business, choose this category. In CreateSpace, you only choose one category. You can add your author bio here if you want. If you were using Amazon Author Central, you could add it in there as well and then just format it in Author Central, but we'll populate this here just in case. Book language is going to stay English, country of publication. None of this is applicable. These are all optional, so you can leave those as is. And then these will pop up just because you haven't saved what you've already entered. So if you save progress right now, the rest of those options will populate and we'll be able to finish it up. These are the sales channels, and they're not showing as all eligible right now because you have to enter all of the information for it to populate. Usually these 4 channels are available. This one typically is not eligible. So when you're ready to make your book live, you'll select any of the applicable ones. For now, we'll just leave that one, but you would select any available unless for specific reasons you only wanted certain markets. And then here's where you would list the pricing. And they do give you a minimum list price, so if you're having trouble figuring out what you need to charge to make sure you're receiving a royalty based on domestic distribution or expanded distribution, that can help you with that. So I've entered a price of $15.99. That's typically what we recommend for our paperbacks. If for some reason your book has twice the content or color interior or something like that, you can adjust this based on what's needed. And then if you hit calculate, it'll show you what the royalty would be based on the price you have entered. So once you enter all of that and save progress, it won't let you submit everything until all the items are filled out, which is great because it'll force you to make sure everything's there. Once everything's in here and all good to go, you would simply click on Submit for Review. And about 24 hours later, CreateSpace will have reviewed the files. If there are any issues, they'll let you know so you can address them if there's something wrong with the sizing of the cover or something like that. If they've approved everything, then you're good to go and everything can be live on Amazon from there.